All right, everything is connected. When people talk about mind, body, spirit, a lot of times this shit is just cringy as fuck, and it's just like, what the fuck is this have to do with me? Like, what the fuck is this? Basically, I'm gonna just give you like a practical rundown of mind, body, and spirit, how everything connects and how you can utilize it to, you know what I'm saying, propel yourself forward in life. So, moral story, you have a spirit, right? Your spirit is basically your compass, your intuition, your soul, your heart. You know what I'm saying? And this is what your purpose is. You know what I'm saying? What you're passionate about. This will lead you, your soul leads you to fulfillment, right? Because it is the internal driver of your mind and body. Your mind is the creator. It is the planner. It is the processor. And it processes and transmutes into the physical realm. It makes things tangible. With the help of your body. It works in accordance with your body. So your body is basically what takes the action. You know what I'm saying? It is what basically forms the physical. You get what I'm saying? So let me put this in an example and so you can see how they all connect. Let's say that my purpose is to be a writer and to help uplift the consciousness of this planet. Let's just say that's my purpose, my life purpose. So bam, I am going to figure out, first of all, how to be a good writer, right? How to be a good writer is basically practicing that shit every day, trying it, testing and implementing and reiterating and whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm writing and I just keep writing daily. And I'm looking at examples, I'm looking at people that write, and I'm trying to basically copy things that I like from them, different ideas, different ways of writing, styles of writing. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at different people and I'm just seeing inspiration, but I'm continuously writing. I'm building my skill. I'm strengthening my skill. Maybe I'm reading more so I could start strengthening my vocabulary, things of that nature. And I'm continuously implementing this skill. So first of all, with my mind, I'm taking what's from my mind. I'm taking what's on like in my soul. I'm taking that and I am transmuting that. So once I write, it's already tangible. It's in the physical. This is the body actively doing it. You get what I'm saying? So when your mind and your body is in alignment with your soul, with your purpose, with who you are at the core, that is where fulfillment comes in at. And it's necessary to be in alignment. It is like mandatory in order, if you want to be fulfilled and happy and have a life of freedom and joy, you have to be in alignment with your soul. That is the only way. That is literally the only way, bro. Or else you will have, regret, you know what I'm saying, for not going after your dreams when you get, older. You can have chronic dissatisfaction. You can have depression. You can have anxiety and stress. And when you have stress, that transfers into the physical. Now, this is still talking about how these things are connected. You're not aligned with your soul. So now your mind is at dis-ease, you're depressed, you're stressed out, and being mentally or psychologically stressed out can cause physical symptoms like high blood pressure and, heart problems or heart attacks or whatever else. It's called psychosomatic diseases, which is the mind, body, psycho being the mind and behavior, and then somatic, soma being the body. So you can have this physical dis-ease from mental dis-ease. It can literally transfer. That is how these things are connected. So you have to be in alignment. If you ignore your soul, if you ignore your purpose, if you ignore your calling, the inner calling that you have, if you ignore your dreams, your passions, you know what I'm saying, you will suffer. You will literally suffer. And you will result to escapism, trying to run away with alcohol, sex, relationships, trying to run away with money and material possessions. And you'll realize when you attain all these material possessions, you still feel empty. You still feel like something is missing. And it could be social relationships and love, or it could also be ignoring your soul, your calling, your purpose. Like, you can ask. That's why you see a lot of celebrities be overdosing and drunk as hell, or having what's it called? Lost my train of thought. Addiction. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically certain types of addictions. That's why you see a lot of celebrities and famous people or whatever, people with money going through shit. And you just wondering, like, why the fuck are they You know what I'm saying? They got all this money, they got all these cars, they got, you know what I'm saying, everything I could ever want. Why the fuck are they, you know what I'm saying, killing themselves or getting locked up or doing all this other shit? And it's because the shit does not lead to happiness. It's external. Anything on this physical realm cannot give you fulfillment. You get what I mean? Like, if you're going after anything in this physical realm to try to give you that internal fulfillment, it's not gonna work. You have to let your soul lead you, lead your body, lead your mind. You have to allow your soul to lead you, and that will lead you to the fulfillment, because that's all it is. It's all it's about. So yeah, like I was saying, the mind is I was trying to figure out the name of that fucking word. Alcohol, substance abuse. That's what the shit's called. But anyway, the mind is the communicator between the spirit realm, the soul, and the physical realm, the body. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important to, you know, meditate and allow yourself to be still and have stillness. And I'm sorry, all of this shit is just coming off the dome. So I'm like, I'm really trying to make sure that what I'm saying is making sense. But that's why it's so important for you to, you know what I'm saying, connect with yourself and see how you know what I'm saying, feel internally. How, you know what I'm saying, isolate yourself sometimes. You don't have to be around people all the time. Sometimes you need, you know what I'm saying, isolation and stillness and introspection and reflection. You know what I'm saying? How do you listen to what your soul wants? How do you find out what your purpose is? It's through that. It's through reflection. It's through journaling, getting closer to yourself, talking to yourself, being alone, having periods of time where you're alone so that you can actually hear yourself. How can you hear? Because your intuition, your soul, it's like a whisper. But if you're not listening to the whisper, then that shit gets louder. It gets real, real loud. And everything around you starts to fall apart. Everything around you starts to unfold in chaos. And, you know what I'm saying, you start to outgrow your environments real, real quick. And you wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm doing everything right, but I still feel, like, fucked up. And it's because you've been ignoring the whisper. Your soul calling you to do, you know what I'm saying, your purpose. And so, long story short, in order to hear yourself, you have to be able to be in silence. If you around all these other people, they're gonna be feeding they opinions and their fears and their thoughts and their emotions onto you, and it'll be hard to decipher, especially if you don't really know yourself. And in the beginning, when you first, you know, trying to become aware, it's hard to basically learn who you are. I'm trying to say it's hard to basically hear yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you got all these people around you. If you got all these opinions around you and emotions around you, especially if you're an empath, you start to soak up other people's emotions and mistake them from your own, mistake other people's thoughts for your own, mistake other people's lifestyles and beliefs as your own when it's not even your own. You got to sit with yourself and really listen. You know what I'm saying? Have conversations with yourself. Me, personally, I'll go on a walk. It's a nature trail. I just come on nature trail by myself, put my AirPod in, or I'll literally be having this, right? I'll have my mic. I'll just turn my mic on. Sorry, it's all fucked up. I'll turn my mic on, clip it right here. Just turn this bitch on, and I'll be walking. And I'll turn on my voice memos on my phone because it's like connected to the Bluetooth. And I'll just be walking, talking to myself. Audio journaling, video journaling, writing things down. You don't have to just, you know, do no boring ass journal. You can literally just pop this bitch out and express it. Just get it out, even if you never listen to it again. You know what I'm saying? I don't recommend you listen to it, but even if you don't, at least you're getting it out. You're getting your thoughts out, because if it's trapped in here, this starts to get cluttered. And when this is cluttered, it's very, very fucking hard to hear what your soul is telling you, what your soul is calling you to do. It's really, really hard to understand what you really, really want in life, what your purpose is. You know what I'm saying? You have to get closer to yourself, bro. You have to question yourself. Ask yourself the key questions of, you know, who am I? You know what I'm saying? What are my values? What are my beliefs? What are my dislikes, my likes? What do I love? You know what I'm saying? What are my strengths and my weaknesses? And sometimes you might not get an answer instantly, and you shouldn't expect to get an answer instantly. You can do a question of the day. Journal when you first wake up. Ask yourself, okay, what are my dislikes? What are my needs? Right? What do I need in a relationship, in a romantic relationship? What are my needs? What are my desires? Ask yourself this. You might journal a few things, go for a walk, live your day, and you might come up with it. You could be driving, you'd be like, oh yeah, I got something else I can add to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you can do it a week. Have a journal question a week. You can think about this shit, ruminate on this shit for a whole fucking week. And you know what I'm saying? Just be patient with yourself. And be honest with yourself first and foremost. Take accountability for the shit that you've done or haven't done, and accept it and see how you can move forward now in the present moment. Don't fucking, beat yourself up about shit that you did in the past, because a lot of the times we do shit based on circumstances. It doesn't have anything to do with who we are at the core, But what I'm trying to say is build a relationship with yourself. Build a connection with yourself. Start to become more aware. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to feel your heartbeat. Maybe not at all times if you have certain stimulations, but you know what I'm saying? You should be able to tune into yourself and feel your fucking blood flowing through your body. And the blood flowing through your body is energy. It's your life force. It's just energy flowing through your body. You should be able to be so still at times where you can feel that shit. You should be like, I've had moments, and I'm not trying to get like TMI or nothing like that, but I've had moments where I could literally feel the shit going like through my intestines. Like I can feel it moving. I can feel it contracting. When it's pushing stuff through, it'll like contract. I could feel that shit. Like you should be so in tune with your body. You should be so in tune with your emotions and how you feeling. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts. You should be so in tune with your thoughts first and fucking foremost. Because let's say I'm out here and somebody steal me up on a date, for example, and I'm just like, damn, like I can't ever find love. I just won't ever. Damn, like nobody will ever fucking love me. They probably did it. Did they do it because I was ugly? Did I say something wrong? Did I do this? Damn, I'm fucked up. You're not worthy of love. Da, da, da. Like I say stupid shit to myself, negative things to myself. That will be followed by negative consequences, negative emotions, negative actions, negative behaviors. I'll start to look at myself differently. My self-esteem will go lower. My self-confidence will drop. All of this shit, just because I was speaking to myself in a negative manner. But if I speak to myself, if I notice like, damn, you actually speaking real fucked up to yourself right now. Speak to yourself like you want somebody else to talk to you. You get what I'm saying? Speak to yourself like you speak to the motherfuckers that you've been people pleasing for. You know what I'm saying? Speak to yourself like that. People please for your damn self. People please for yourself. Person please for yourself. And honestly, if you catch these thoughts, these negative thoughts in the moment, you can be like, yeah, immediately replace that shit with a positive thought. Immediately replace that shit. And then positive emotions and positive actions and behaviors and habits will follow that. But you got to be more aware, bro. Peace.